Hi guys, I hope we're alright. I hope we're doing very excited about. It's step 6 in the Conquering Dyslexia book. Step 6 in the 12 steps to conquer your dyslexia. Now step 6 is called transform. And this is arguably one of the most powerful steps that you have to take to conquer your dyslexia. Everything is it holds great importance, but this is where the real rubber meets the road. We can make real impact in your own life, and I'm so excited. Now this is like in the book, it's the biggest step. It's what I talk about the most. There's a lot of exercises. See if I can show it to you. If you're listening to this, you have to get the audiobook, and then the ebook will be sent to you. If you're watching this, step 6, transform. So that's what it is, and there's a lot of exercises and stuff to go through. And I want to briefly talk about the basics of it, about kind of like, because there's 3 fundamental questions that we have to find an answer to throughout step 6, and it takes you through this process with a bit of background information that you have to learn. But first, before I talk about that, I really want to say that this point, if you've been listening to the audiobook, you would have reached a certain stage at this point by understanding certain things and by understanding how your mind works, how your life works, what's really the controlling factors in your life, and how much does dyslexia actually control your life, and be able to understand that and look at that in such a way that you can transform your life, in such a way that you can really take these limiting factors that have been limiting you and not just understand them, but get rid of them for the long term. Okay, get rid of them for the long term and place new good ones. So make sure, if you're just watching this, came with this episode, make sure you go back and watch the other steps. Because once you watch the other steps, you'll be able to be caught up. But most importantly, if you haven't watched the other steps, get the audiobook, Conquering Dyslexia /book. ConqueringDyslexia.net/book. Get the audiobook. So basically, the first question, the first stage of transformation is understanding what your true dyslexia is. Now, when I say your true dyslexia, I mean, you're not saying you have dyslexia for some random reason. You've got something differently wired in you into a certain extent that you can be labelled with the term dyslexia. Okay? So this is really defining what your dyslexia is in a positive way, as much as we can do so, in an actual way, instead of just being only positive thinking dyslexia is a gift, all this sort of stuff. Actually looking at, yes, the daily struggles that you have, but don't say things like, I can never read, or don't say things like, I can never remember names. Say things that you struggle with, actual things that you struggle with, and be very attentive and very sort of like notice that what you want to write down here isn't how dyslexia makes us feel, isn't our emotions, or isn't our beliefs. It's not like, well, dyslexia is the worst thing on earth. Well, I can't trust anyone because I have dyslexia. I can't get a job because I have dyslexia. No, that's not dyslexia. That's the world, and that's you. I want to say that's you. I don't want to be mean to you, but that's truth. It's not dyslexia that's not stopping you get a job. Truth, I'm sorry, it's truth. And once you got to this stage in the book, and once you got to this stage, you'd understand that, and you'd understand it's not being mean, it's being factual. Okay? So your first step is write down the truth is how dyslexia is affecting your life. In a positive way, saying, it's slowing me down here. I have difficulty doing this. I have difficulty doing that. And also, contrast all the negative stuff with all the positive stuff. Actual gifts, like, I can see things differently. I've got very creative imaginations. And once you do that, you'll see, okay, this is actually the core foundations of what dyslexia is for my life, because we're all different. And then we'll move on to how it affects us emotionally, or specifically, we'll identify our negative beliefs. And in this question, how to identify your negative beliefs, there's basically questions to ask about, okay, because we've gone through exercises so far that you'd have been to a certain extent, but the best way to find out your beliefs is asking you questions about yourself. Asking you basically, saying, what are the negative emotions I feel because of my dyslexia? And then once you write down your negative emotions, say, what do I have to believe to make me feel this way? Does that make sense? Once you ask that question about what do I have to believe about my dyslexia, or about this difference to make me feel this way, and then we'll come up with a belief, and then we'll come up with the actual facts. Now in the book, I go in depth in it, and then step 2, question 2 is so important and so integral, because once you understand this, step 2 is discovering your true disability. It's discovering the actual things that are holding you back, not your dyslexia. The actual things that are holding you back. And that's what step 2 is, and in the book we task you to go deep inside, okay? And then question number 3. Question number 3 is incredible, and it's the biggest question by far. Changing those negative beliefs and creating new positive empowering ones. Well, how do you create new positive empowering ones? You decide and you commit and you do the opposite. And I teach you a bit. So basically, when you have this, you have to. I won't teach you how the process of doing it, because it's a little bit complex, and I will do it complete injustice here. So that would give you more reason to actually get the audiobook completely free. And also here I'll give you a background. When you're going through this book and in life, there's 3 beliefs you have to change. I learned this from Tony Robbins. He's a legend. He learned it from someone else. There's 3 beliefs you have to change something. First belief. It has to change. It has to change. It has to change. It can change. First belief is it can change. This belief can change. My experience of dyslexia can change. Because most of us stop at hurdle number 1 because we believe it can't change. We believe it's set in stone. First thing we have to believe it's 100% true. But it doesn't matter if it's true, it matters what is our experience of it, our beliefs to us. Does that make sense? So the first belief is it can change. The second one is I can change it. In other words, I am responsible for my change. No one apart from me, okay? And belief number 3, belief number 3, I must change. I would stay where I am in this moment in time, and I have to change. It could be so much pleasurable for me to change through a process of doing it that I use to transform my life in so many different areas, and that you can use to transform your life in your conquering dyslexia. And this is the core fundamental principles, but I want you to take a step back and say, because this is the strategy combined with the mindset of step 6. But take a step back and look at what we're doing here. We're going through an exercise to make you live more of your life, because we all have unbelievable potential, especially if you're dyslexic. You have an unbelievable potential to create something, to make such an impact in the world and live a life that you're proud for. You have such human potential is amazing. Think about this. All the amazing people in history who've accomplished amazing things, unbelievable things, despite all the circumstances. And there's just so many humans like that. Because think about it. In the last couple thousand years, human race has grown quite a lot. Why? Is it nature? Is it just happened to be like that? No, it's individuals making the most of their potential to get them where they are now. That's it. It's human beings make the most of their potential. If a couple of years ago, if we sat back doing nothing, we'd end up exactly the same stuff. No electricity, no this, no that. The same things. We have like swords. That's where things would be if people did not maximize their potential. Think about where we are in the last 50 years for individuals maximizing their, or not working towards maximizing their potential, or unlocking the gifts they have inside of them. And loads of those are dyslexic. A good high portion of those are dyslexic and think in a dyslexic way, which is visually, which is creative, which is better. So think about that. And so listen, we all tell a story yourself about why we can't do it, about why it's not good, but you know that you can do it. You ultimately know that the difference in the quality of people's lives, about the successes of people's lives, ultimately know, without finding excuses, ultimately know that it's down to the individual. It's not down to the circumstances, it's down to the individual. That's how go. This is what I've learned of all the years of help, all the years of support, and yet this is what I learned. It's not what you have that counts. It's what you do with what you have that counts. Do you understand? It's what you do with what you have. It's what you do with your circumstances right now. It's your actions determining the next. This is an exercise that helps you unlock the potential you have inside yourself. But this exercise will be absolutely worthless the decision to conquer your dyslexia. Guys, I hope you enjoy this, and listen. Me talking to you now is, I hope I'm inspiring you. I hope I'm giving you a way forward, giving you like a mindset, giving you kind of like a strategy of what to do. But listen, if you haven't yet, I don't know why, you'd be crazy, get a free audiobook here. Conquering Dyslexia. Go to conqueringdyslexia.net/book. Get the audiobook of my book, because dyslexics can't read. And also, there'll be later on, it's a little secret, you'll get the ebook as well to be able to follow along. And this is completely for free, guys. So go to conqueringdyslexia.net/audiobook. Alright guys, I'll see you later, and conquer your dyslexia.